Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play the Life and Suffering of Sir Brante with me, Alpha Pi Omega, and Rudolf Brante. So, we're still in Chapter 4, probably closing to its half, and we have just entered a crazy secret romance with the Archduke's daughter, Octavia Melanides. So let's see what the repercussions will be. I'm pretty sure that's gonna bite us in the ass, but that could also help. We'll see. Anyway, brothers in misery. Your home has been much more peaceful for the last year. The fights between Stefan and Gloria are not as fierce now, but how long will this last? Your job takes up all your time. You see your parents and siblings less and less often. All this reminds me of my father. Sometimes you don't even know what they are doing while you deal with the constant stream of duties. This morning you head out on an urgent business. You take one step out of the gate and run into a uniformed gendarme. Captain Linad, captain of the Prefecture Gendarmes, a man with a shady past and shadier acquaintances. He is nevertheless well respected. Rudolf Brante, your presence is requested at the Prefecture dungeon. Taken aback, you ask what is this about. We have your brothers Stefan and Nathan Brante in a cell. They were arrested last night at the Steiner's Inn. They asked us to send for you. Damn. The cells in the Prefecture dungeon are cold and damp. The guards lead you to the bars, and behind them you see Nathan huddled in the corner. Your brother is unshaven, more disheveled than usual, and reeking of wine and filth. Near the cell you see Stefan grimly sitting in a chair. You guess that the gendarmes thought it best not to put him in the same cell as his well-born brother. Upon seeing you, Nathan lets out a whimper, and Stefan cracks a bitter smile. The sheath of your brother's belt is empty. Stefan. There you are at last, Rudolf. Have a look at our younger brother. Yesterday he got drunk in the company of some dubious fellows. They are commoners, yet they dare to surrender to pleasure. They started a brawl, wrecked the inn, and harassed the waitresses. As soon as I heard, I rushed to save this drunkard from shame. Nathan covers in the corner, horror-struck. I walked in and demanded that Nathan come with me, but his cronies wouldn't let him go. Nathan, that's not true. You just grabbed me by the collar and dragged me after you. You nearly suffocated me. Stefan, shut your mouth, cur. So, brother, they seem to have some sort of sect. They all shouted defamations against the twin gods, and one of them grabbed me by the arm. I was forced to skewer this heretic with my sword. I hope a lesser death would teach him never to lay his filthy paws on a nobleman. He skewered the heretic. Jesus. Nathan, he was just trying to talk to you, Stefan. Stefan, silence! Then the gendarmes barged in, and here we are. I have been accused of an unlawful murder. Apparently new laws allow killing a commoner only if he attacks first or wields a weapon. They say that in the event of an insult, I'm supposed to file a complaint with the prefecture. So now they're going to seize my sword for a whole year. What a shame. And it's all your fault, Nathan. Stefan gives the bars a furious kick. Nathan covers his face with his hands in despair. Stefan, Rudolf, brother, you're our only hope. Get me my sword back and get us out of here. And fast. We have to bury this sordid affair as deep as we can before anyone finds out. Save our family from shame. Use your authority. Well, we would need career above 5. So that's definitely something that you can do if you side with the nobles. Take him to the Inquisition. Path of the Priest. Okay. Blackmail the judge. Okay, that's when we're in the Ruthless. So these 3 are all closed. So we can only ask Father. Yeah, let's ask Father for help. We can't really have them face repercussions. You tell Stefan that the only way to get them out of this mess is with Father's help. Stefan, no, Rudolf. Father must not know about this. If he gets involved, we won't be able to avoid dishonoring the family. You coldly reply that, after this incident, disgrace is inevitable. All that remains is to try and minimize the damage. Leaving your brothers, you go upstairs to your father's office. Robert, what happened, Rudolf? You give Father an account of the incident. He becomes more and more grim with every word you utter. Robert, is this why I earned the judge's mantle? To get my own sons out of prison? I would have expected something like this from Nathan, but Stefan? I will not demean myself so they can avoid their punishment. You argue that in this case the damage to your family's reputation will be far greater. Stefan will be publicly deprived of his sword and Nathan will be sentenced to hard labor on the streets. Robert, I hate to admit it, but you are right, son. I'll have to swallow my pride and plead their case to the prefect. Stefan is his nephew after all. Father gets an audience with the superior Alborn. He returns downhearted but holding the prefect's order. Together you walk down to the dungeon and present the order to the gendarmes. Stefan Brante's sword is to be returned at once. He has not broken the law and must be freed. As for Nathan Brante, he will personally cover the damages to the inn. There's no reason to keep the son of a noble family behind bars. Okay, so that's a hit to reputation and our wealth. Seeing the prefect's seal, the gendarmes nods obedient and return Stefan's sword. Stefan, Father, I knew you'd come to the rescue. I haven't really done anything shameful. Oh, he's gonna get it. Robert, we will discuss this at home. Okay. Stefan sheathes his sword reverently as Nathan is let out of the cell. The elder brother takes the younger by the scruff of his neck and pulls him to the door. Nathan staggers and shuffles along limply. The prefecture is highly displeased with the indiscreet nepotism your father took advantage of. Unsavory rumors about the Brante family creep through Anizod. Back home, father lectures Stefan. Your elder brother objects and blames Nathan for everything. From now on, there will be no more drinking bouts or the nocturnal exploits, Nathan. Who are those rogues you've befriended anyway? Stop shaming this family. If you're so worthless, at least let others go about their business in peace. Do you understand, you blockhead? Nathan remains silent, staring despondently somewhere above him. Okay, so +1 with Nathan and Stefan, -1 with father. Our honor has dropped to 1, and the unity has dropped to 9. Well, we got 1 manipulation. I should have won them rot. The case of Father Mark. Your most recent years of service at the prefecture has seen an increase in litigation on crimes against the church. More and more people are joining the ranks of the new faith of Anizod. The movement began with destitute beggars who had nothing to lose, but for years now many well-off commoners and new nobles have been joining the fold. People say the leader of the new faith in Anizod is Father Leonard, the abbot of the Temple of the Silver Tree. The city's leadership would love to expel him, but he is too highly regarded by the common folk. Complaints and cases of defiance to one's lot keep pouring in. Every day somebody is reported by their neighbors for heresy. Many commoners, adherent of the old faith, fear that such flagrant defiance of the laws will usher in the prophesied wrath of the gods. However, you and the other judges have no choice but to reject most of these cases. As a secular institution, the prefecture has no authority when it comes to crimes against faith. Only the church and the Inquisition have any say here. In the middle of another busy day at the prefecture office, the door suddenly swings open. A tall gendarme wearing an officer's uniform walks in. He takes off his helmet, adjusts his short fair hair, and bows to you hastily. Captain Linad. It's the same one. Captain Linad reporting, Your Honor. My boys finally caught Father Mark, the dreaded apostate heretic. The prefect told us to take him to you for judgment. You, bringing him. The two gendarmes bring in a short, stout man wearing a worn, dirty priest cassock. Priests wear the sacred symbol of the twins, a cross within a circle, but this man does not. Forced to sit before you, this odd-looking priest is nonetheless strangely undisturbed by his arrest. His eyes, curious and glimmering with life, study you intently. This is him, Father Mark, in the flesh. We caught him trying to preach the teachings of his smack in the middle of drinking hole for the lowborn in the Grey District. Some guy took offense and called for the gendarmes, and we got there right away. Father Mark. You've heard the name ever since you were a child. His cult of rejection of the twins have expanded tenfold over the past several years, with nobles, commoners, and even other priests joining his flock. The Inquisition has hunted this heretical apostate for years, but Father Mark has always eluded capture, until now. Some say he has powerful protectors. Captain Linad, here are statements from the people at the establishment, Your Honor. You flip through the pages of handwritten statements. Father Mark isn't just preaching. He is openly defying not only the laws, but even the twins themselves. Father Mark teaches that the gods have neither design nor purpose for us. Whew. I'm trying to think of what that would mean for a character like ours, who actually met the gods while died. So we are under no obligation to serve them or prepare our souls for the hereafter. You put the papers away, ready to question the profane priest. What was the subject of his sermon? What was he trying to convince his listeners to do? Father Mark prefaces his answer with a dazzling smile. Oh, that's interesting. He has actual relation with us, but the gendarme captain does not. As a judge, says Father Mark, it is your duty to enforce secular law. You know as well as I do that I have broken no such law. I'm a priest, my friend, and in the Empire, priests are allowed to preach. I was preaching the proper way to live one's worldly life, for this is the only existence we have. I told my listeners not to waste their lives serving those gods. The twins surely love us, but alas, their love violates us as much as their law. This entire world is proof of that. I see my words upset you, but I'm afraid you can't judge me guilty for that. Here's why. You see, mine is the priestly law, if the judgment of the church is to be trusted, which means that only the Inquisition tribunal may find me guilty. So you could hand me over to those black-clad thugs, but alas, you will get absolutely nothing in return. The Inquisition wants to light their pyres in every corner of Anizot, and all they need for that is me. As soon as they get me, the Inquisitors will tell the prefecture to step aside and start enforcing the law themselves. Is that what you want, my friend? So what are you to do with me? Well, let's think about it. As a secular judge, you can't judge me guilty, but giving me to the Inquisition will weaken the prefecture. And so, my friend, everybody will be better off if you just set me free. Trust an old philosopher. It's better for me, better for your prefect, and better for you as well. Surprisingly, the gendarme captain smiles knowingly at these words. He leans over and whispers a few words into your ear. You cannot help but notice the scars all over his neck. Captain Manette, I say the old heretic's right, Your Honor. If he's still got the priestly lot, he's the Inquisition's problem. It's too dangerous for the prefecture to meddle in churchly affairs. And strictly between you and me, if the reports I've been getting are to be trusted, this here Mark's been rubbing elbows with Patriarch Cassius himself. Letting him go might get us on his good side, and Sir Patriarch's a very wealthy man. But suddenly the captain's voice trails off as the door to your office opens without warning. There's a young woman at the door. Oh, this is the one that we've seen before. Is her name Jean? Yes, Jean. There's a young woman at the door, clothed in a black cassock and bearing the telltale silver seal of the Inquisition. Jean. I am a Sister Jean, Your Honor. I serve the Order of the Inquisition. That stern face, those piercing brown eyes, they seem somehow familiar. Of course, this is the very young acolyte girl from the Temple of the Silver Tree, the one you saw during the school's visit. She is an Inquisitor now. Jean. Your men did well to track down and arrest Father Mark. Splendid. We've been hunting this folk preacher for a long time. As I'm sure you know, priests may not be judged by secular laws, Your Honor. Mark has denigrated the twins and called for the people to reject them. He has broken his sacred vows and defied his lot. He will face the tribunal of the Inquisition for this transgression. The man before you is a great threat to the people of Anizot, Judge Brante. His words lead people astray. His speeches doom them to eternal suffering at the foot of the pillar. Only the Church knows the way to end his heresy. You will hand Father Mark over to me at once. Sister Jean remains in the doorway, wordlessly refusing to leave the prefecture without the captured heretic. The gendarmes and the captain stand still, awaiting your orders. Father Mark is lounging in the chair, enjoying himself and eyeing you curiously, waiting for your decision on this contentious situation. Judge him. Well, imperial law exists for all estates, so you will find a way to judge Father Mark guilty in a secular court. Hand him over to the Inquisition. The Inquisition ought to deal with Father Mark's heretical acts. You hand him over to Sister Jean. Set him free. Father Mark has not violated any imperial law. If the Inquisition wants him so badly, they can catch him on their own, or prosecute the case with the Inquisition. You insist on participating in Father Mark's trial. As a judge, you have something to say in his litigation, and the Inquisition must take this into account. Huh. This is really hard decision for me. I don't think I have enough information to judge these options on their own. To judge him would break the laws, and then I expect the Inquisition will be after me. Handing him over to the Inquisition would be the right way to do in the context, but I have a feeling that might hit my reputation. Set him free. I think that might help. I don't know, with something. Prosecute the case. What did he say that Patriarch Cassius himself? Patriarch is a very wealthy man. Prosecute the case with the Inquisition. You insist on participating in Father Mark's trial. As a judge, you have something to say. Okay, so this says that we will find him guilty in a secular court. But how? Like, of what? He didn't do anything. They just caught him there. But wouldn't that just exist for all estates? Does it? I guess let's judge him. I'm not sure about this one at all. You order the gendarmes to put Father Mark in jail. The priest just shakes his head slowly and sadly. The gendarme captain smirks slyly at Sister Jeanne and tells his men to put the priest in shackles. As you wish, Your Honor. The mere sight of Father Mark being taken away by the law sends Sister Jeanne into an apoplectic fit of rage. How dare you defy the judgment of the Inquisition? You have no right to judge a priest, not even such an erring heretic as Mark. Only other priests may pronounce judgment upon a priest. You have clearly forgotten your own lot if you see it otherwise. Know this, Sir Brante, the Inquisition will not forget this outrage. We will do whatever it takes to get you dismissed. Oh, god damn it. After Jean finally storms out, you head for Elborn's office. Thanks to the firm guidance of the prefect and your verdicts as a judge, the rule of law in the province has been on the rise. Even nobles can be seen falling in line and acknowledging the prefecture's authority. Could this be the time to take another step forward and make the priests acknowledge secular law just as they accept the divine law? Augustine, that was quite brazen of you, Brante, defying the Inquisition like that. It could cost you dearly. But I'm on your side in this matter. Father Mark will set an ideal precedent. A priest judged by imperial law rather than a church tribunal. The man you caught is an apostate and a heretic, so the Inquisition will provide no legal defense. This all but ensures a guilty verdict. Permission granted, Brante. Prepare the case. To ensure that the Inquisition has no time to intervene, you shadow the trial as soon as possible. But even with these precautions, the courtroom on the day of trial is a strange sight to see. Outraged priests and odd-looking commoners fill the stalls. Now and again you hear their cries. Some demand you hand over Father Mark to the Inquisition, while others shout in support of the apostate. Mark himself is quiet and utterly calm, his arms folded across his chest. The time for the verdict has come. Instead of heresy, you accuse Father Mark of inciting rebellion against the Emperor's rule. In his sermon, Mark told people to reject the twins, but the Tempest dynasty was chosen to rule by the twins themselves. Therefore, his call to reject the twins represents an act of rebellion against the Tempest dynasty and the empire as a whole. You thus conclude that Father Mark is an insurgent and a traitor, a crime that falls within the authority of the prefecture. Your speech has a board of justice backed against the wall. Despite their better judgment, they are now obliged to side with you instead of the Inquisition. Through quenched teeth, they accept your arguments for persecuting Father Mark in a secular trial. The verdict has been rendered. Father Mark, well done, your honors. I hope your ambition has been duly satisfied and your authority duly enforced. But alas, every single one of you is still a puppet of the alien will of the gods. It's time to hand me over to the Inquisition. After all, only the Church knows the proper punishment for me. Indifference, okay. The gendarmes unceremoniously stuff a gag in Father Mark's mouth to protect society from his heretical notions. Sister Jeanne is waiting right outside the courtroom, an inscrutable expression on her face. She takes custody of Father Mark, now a convict, and leads him to the dungeon of the Inquisition for his long overdue punishment. Shortly after, you learn that your father was one of the judges on the Board of Justice. Robert, that was some trial, and it was led by my own son, of all people, a priest convicted by the prefecture. Our province has never seen anything like this before. Many judges are bound to hold a grudge against you for making us clash with the Inquisition. As for me, I'm proud you saw the case through to the very end. We will succeed no matter what fate has in store for us. -1 for Jean. Yeah, career back at 1. But justice 8. Okay. Diplomacy 19. Cool. Well, this could have gone worse. Debacle in the shop. This event is a consequence of your previous action. Conditions met, justice above or equal 8. Okay, let's see that one. Debacle in the shop. Your tenure as a judge has yielded considerable results. More and more often, common people come to the prefecture to assert their right, and succeed in doing so. Some local villagers have even started coming to seek the court's protection. All over the province there is talk that a new era has come, that the law is in fact the same for all. This morning, on your way to the prefecture, you anticipate a peaceful day full of paperwork. But as soon as you enter your office, Elborn rushes in after you. Don't sit down, Brante. You have been assigned to an urgent investigation. This morning, a tradeswoman, old Mrs. Steiner, came to the prefecture with her 2 grandchildren. She demands that we punish Sir Elverger for setting fire to her shop and trying to rob her. Well, the Steiners had just finished writing up the complaint when Elverger himself came bursting in. He immediately sued the Steiners for his own murder. I've come to warn you, Brante. Even though the Steiners were acting in self-defense, you still have to find in favor of Elverger. You're surprised to hear this from Elborn. Seeing your perplexed look, the prefect frowns. I'll explain, Brante. Before, low-born shopkeepers like the Steiners wouldn't have dreamed of suing a nobleman. Everything was always decided in favor of the nobility, as you may recall, but now the law has more power. Our efforts have not been in vain. However, now we're talking about the murder of a nobleman by commoners. I'm afraid these changes have been too drastic. The governing elite of the province are watching our every step. Justifying the murder of a nobleman would be going too far. The overseer and the magistrate may well decide that it's time to take back the common people's rights. We can't let that happen, Rudolf. Court is in session. You are presiding over the Board of Justice. One bench is occupied by the somber Maximilian Erlberger. His papers state that he is a nobleman of the sword, living off his estate. He strokes the pommel of his sword nervously and breathes heavily, ready to explode in a fit of rage. On the other bench you see the Steiners, the low-born owners of a well-known jewelry store. Anne Steiner, a short, wizened woman wrapped in several layers of dark silk, looks defiantly at Elverger. Her 2 grandchildren stand silently behind her, their faces impassive. Captain Menad. My squad noticed the fire at the Steiner's shop. We stormed in and saw those Steiners standing over the dead body of Sir Elverger and watching it crumble to dust. The old woman shouted that she had to go to the prefecture, so we brought her and her grandchildren here, and Sir Elverger suffered a lesser death before our very eyes. Gustav Elverger, nobleman. Miscreants! Those low-born scum killed me! You sternly call the nobleman to order. The commoners will speak first. Anne Steiner. Sir Elverger showed up at our shop at dawn and started banging on the door. We opened despite him being completely drunk, scarcely able to stand on his feet. He demanded to see our pearls. Well, what could I do? I showed them to him, and then he started sweeping our pearls right into his own pockets. I tell him, those pearls are not free, sir, but he draws his sword. I'm a nobleman, he says. Everything should be free for me. Such is your lot, he yells. Your lot is to work for me. Well, I explain that the pearls cost 20 coins, so he takes a lit lamp and smashes it on the floor, and then he charges at me with his sword. My grandchildren came to my rescue. They went and pushed him. They used no weapon, naturally. Sir Elverger hit his temple against the showcase and fell. We came to see how he was, but he was already dying. We didn't kill him, his own anger did. So I didn't come here to confess to murder, but to ask you, Your Honor, to protect our family against this bloodsucker. We had a hard time putting the fire in the shop out after what the rascal did. Gustav Elverger, you ungrateful old hag. You should have been delighted that I was taking your pearls. All of high society would have seen them. You're a blasphemer, too, not knowing your lot. The lowborn must not contradict us nobles. It is forbidden. I know my lot. I'm supposed to command. So I'm in my right when I take what I want from the rabble, and His Honor the Judge will agree with me. Oh, Jesus Christ. Your Honor, I appeal to you, one nobleman to another. It's simply an outrage for the rabble to behave like this. Those little shopkeepers took my first wife from me. Me, the heir to the Elverger legacy. I demand that these Steins be hanged at once, or burned at the stake, since they followed the heresy of Fotis. Only the heretics deny their lot. There is commotion in the courtroom. Those who came to support the Steiners are infuriated by the nobleman's words. Elverger's noble friends frantically demand that the lowborn be silenced. You call the court to order, but to no avail. The room will not calm down until you deliver your verdict. You rob your temple. If you manage to acquit the old lady, it will set a precedence for the entire empire. The lowborn had never had the right to defend themselves with force against one another, let alone the nobles. You have the increased influence of the prefecture on your side. You could even try to legalize the right of the common people of Margaret to defend their lives, but such a daring move will not succeed without the support of powerful people. You remember Elborn's warning. What would the consequences of your decision be for the common folk of Anisot? Should you acquit the Steiners? Can you? Yeah, we can do this one. We need the patronage of the powerful. Acquit the Steiners. Punish the Steiners. Oh God. I don't want to acquit them. But I don't want to punish them either. Acquitting them will end my career. I'm pretty sure that this would be a hit to my career. And it would be a hit to the prefecture and everyone. I wish I could do this. I wish I could acquit them. But I will have to punish them. We are this close to losing it. Too many of the nobles. Oh God, this is hard. I'm not sure. I'm quite honest, I'm not sure. I'll end the episode here and I'll think about it, because, like, this could end the game for us. And this is just a wrong choice altogether, so I'll just have to choose the lesser evil, but I'm not sure if I want to risk it and end the game, or punish the Steiners and just deal with it. I don't know. Sorry, I'll have to think about it. So I'll see you all in the next episode after I give it some more thought. Damn.